Wow, this is gotta be one of my personal favorite episodes. This is episode 8, Portrait of Hiccup as a Buff Man. Yes, the title is kind of weird, but the story, that is the thing that I love the most about it. It kind of has the weirdest plot ever, but its story is just God, I love it so much. This is a personal favorite of mine because I see it as like in the same vein as the first movie, which I love. The whole story is that Stoic and Hiccup are getting their father-son portrait because, it's the chief and the son of the chief, which is kind of a tradition since, I don't know.
Since the dawn of time.
Or the dawn of Berk, whatever.
Or dawn of Berk.
And you'll never guess who does the portraits.
Bucket!
Bucket! God. Because it turns out that he got his head struck by lightning, and then all of a sudden he became an artist. And
weird coincidence.
And we're talking like those pained, torturous artists. At one point he goes, I can't do it! Then runs into a pole, head into a pole, and goes, okay, I can do it.
I would swear he's Vincent van Gogh. If he was a Viking.
Maybe. So after that, some time passes by, and there's this ceremony that reveals the portrait, and it's, well, as the title says, Hiccup as a buff man. So it's not him. So
it's not Hiccup, really.
Not Hiccup. And so now this causes like some
it causes him some
questions. It questions himself as to his dad still. It's like his dad still can't accept him for who he is.
Yeah.
And so along the way, they find out that one of the chief's sons made this map to a great treasure that's filled with riddles and clues, and these riddles are like so complex that
hard anyone returned ever alive
or sane.
That too. No, there's one thing. I have one little nitpick. If it wasn't for the fact that Snotlout smashed into that wall, they would have never found the map.
Okay, so that's your only complaint because Snotlout was the one.
Like, okay, imagine it's like you and the Lion King and that lizard. If that lizard wasn't there would have been no plot.
Hey, I made up for it. I said that Scar planned for that lizard to happen.
True, but still, imagine what would happen if Snotlout didn't smack into the wall? There would have been an episode.
So in a way, Snotlout did some good for once by being his normal annoying self.
I don't know how that's good still.
Because then this wouldn't have been such that good of an episode. This wouldn't be my favorite episode at all. And you kind of stopped me. What was I talking about before this whole your whole little Snotlout rant, your little Snotlout pity party?
Pity party. Okay, first off, we're going back to about the riddles and the clues that cost him many lives. Jeez, okay. I don't think it was that hard to go back to.
It is. Well, I love this episode. I mean, my brain is just firing on all cylinders. My neurons are going like bam, 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 bam. I can't organize them all.
Like an ADHD kid with squirrel syndrome?
Yes.
Well, lovely. Or the ooh, super shiny.
Right. So they find this map that no Viking was able to decipher because the clues were so hard. Even Gobber and Stoic tried it at once, and they nearly lost their friendship. They lost a couple toes, but apparently the friendship was the worst thing that could have happened.
Though, makes me question: wouldn't you have a hard time walking without toes? Like, especially if you lose your big toe.
I think that's kind of why. I think that might be the reason why Gobber has the peg leg. He lost the foot looking for the treasure.
Okay, that would make sense.
But no, that wouldn't. No, that wouldn't make sense because he says in the first movie that he lost his foot to a dragon. Maybe he's... Was there another person there? So we lost a couple toes. Where? Maybe that was just something they made up.
Maybe they're just meant to have frostbite.
Okay. So, Hiccup, we find out that it is Viking tradition to name the runt of a litter the Hiccup. So, there was more of a reason why Hiccup got the name other than to frighten off gnomes and trolls like he said at the beginning of the first movie. It's because the whole society viewed him as like the runt of a litter. And that's, again, gives him more motivation to find this treasure so he can prove himself to everyone else.
Not to mention, there was very poor timing with the laugh.
Yeah. It was poor timing, but it was funny.
Yes. He's like, see what I mean? Oh, hi, Hiccup. Here's a little Hiccup. Oh, hi, Hiccup. Wow. Just,
right.
Wow.
And all right, so Gubber was supposed to hide the map, but because, Snotlout, being the greedy bastard that he is, why do I get the feeling I'm going to be saying that more than once in this entire series?
Honestly,
gets the map. Yeah.
What don't we like about Snotlout? I feel like we're going to hate him no matter what.
Yeah. There's got to be something that will redeem him.
I highly doubt anything will.
Yeah. Oh well. Back on track. They get the map and they decide, and Hiccup, being, for once says, yes, let's go on this. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Jeez.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I hit his knee. I'm sorry. Hiccup says, for once, let's go on this dangerous quest.
And my favorite part is Astrid. No, I'm expecting Astrid to like go, no, halfway through the trip. Instead, what she do? Yes.
She's, yeah, you're gonna go no matter what I say. So yeah, let's do this.
No. This series is trying its damnedest to freaking subvert every expectation I am giving it. It's like, oh, you're gonna expect this, huh? No.
Yep. The one thing that actually took me a while, I had to watch this multiple times, is that how inconsistent some of the technology is with this series.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand Hiccup creating a new tail for Toothless, creating an auto tail for Toothless, creating
a saddle,
a saddle in this, but some of the traps that go into making these booby traps are like impossible, and I'm including by dragon standards. I mean, in one point you have to get a key that's in the ice, and if you smash it with your head, which was the only good thing Snotlout did, aside from find the map, then it causes this weird hammer to just swing down and then go back up. Like, what the hell?
How did he attach that hammer there to begin with? What, was there magical nails?
And another thing is in one of the doors you have to open by sliding out stones with star shapes on it, and they have to be at the same time. Otherwise, then the whole door, it'll cause like this rock slide or something. And when all the dragons get in, it just closes automatically, kind of like Indiana Jones again in it. But unlike that, in that particular world where I can accept that, it's kind of already been established that this is
Vikings.
a Viking era. This is a Viking era. This was before even guns, I guess. I think even guns were in.
No, there was no form of crossbows or anything.
I think there might have been crossbows. There were bows and arrows. There were spears. There's harpoons. There's catapults. There's no cannons or guns, and I'm pretty sure the Chinese have already invented that.
Yeah. So no, at this point, there's not even a crossbow. There's bow and arrows, but not crossbow.
But that is my only nitpick, because really, what really struck me was the whole story. When they finally get through all the booby traps that, let's be honest, you might as well have seen in an Indiana Jones movie, Hiccup learns the truth that the chief's son wasn't the big, strong Viking that his portrait showed him to be. He was
a Hiccup.
He was a Hiccup too. And this whole this treasure quest thing was meant only for a hiccup to find. And he says to be proud of who you are. And that is why I love this episode so much.
And
because
I was going to say, no, I like the fact that it gave him a choice, a feather of knowledge or a big buffy hammer. You know, be true to yourself. And what Hiccup goes for the pen of knowledge.
And all right, and that's why I love this episode so much. Is I see it just like in the first movie, except there's a little difference. In the first movie, Hiccup was trying to prove himself to the Vikings, to his dad, that he's not useless, that he's not a walking disaster, that he has something to contribute. This episode was more about proving to himself that he is worthwhile. And that's what I love about it.
No, I am impressed that... No, I thought Gobbler was not the brightest of the bunch, and he caught on faster than Stoic.
I know. Well, even in the first movie, it's kind of shown that he does care a little bit about Hiccup, because he is an apprentice to him.
Yes. But, no, like, when you think of Gobbler, do you think of him as brains?
Well, no, but then again, you'd have to have some kind of brains to make good weapons.
Yeah, true.
And so this kind of shows how that even Gobber has a soft spot for Hiccup. That he sees him almost like a nephew, I guess.
Yeah. Now, what you already stated your favorite points, and I'll state mine. And mine is the fact that I love the riddles.
You love the riddles.
I love the riddles, especially Snot Loud's attempts at solving them, proving how useless of a character he is. And this awfully sounds like Snot Loud bashing at the moment.
Yes, it does.
But no. I thought they were kind of clever.
They were. They were clever. They weren't
oversimplified.
They weren't oversimplified so that the kids would figure them out. It's not like Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
Or Dora the fucking Explorer.
But no, it's like, let's see, water turns to bone.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's like, that actually made me think. And though I did question one little thing. How the fuck did that Viking put that medallion thing up on that serpent's mouth?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. How did he do that? See, that's kind of another...
He didn't have dragons.
They didn't. Well, dragons existed, but yeah, they were kind of at war before they were kind of at war during the first movie. This is supposed to happen like years before Stoic was even born. So yeah, kind of a little plot hole, but I'm willing to overlook it.
Yes.
Because, God, this story was good. This was definitely one of the best episodes.
Now, one thing that did remind me, as you mentioned Indiana Jones, I got the nostalgia of 1 and 3 fused into one. Because especially when Hiccup's going like this. Of course it's going to be a reference. And then the part where it looked like he has to pick out the Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm.
What?
You must choose
wisely. So it's pretty much pick Hiccup, pick iron. But that's not pure.
And to be honest, even though I love this episode, there was something very obvious. When given the choice between a feather or a hammer, you kind of knew what he was gonna go for, because this is Hiccup. He values
knowledge.
He values knowledge over being buff.
Yes.
And oh, you know what? We kind of spent minutes talking about Hiccup. How did Stoic react to the whole thing? He came around. He realized that Hiccup is fine just the way he is. He doesn't need a portrait of him as buff to know that he is a good Viking, because he's already the son that he wants him to be.
Yes, though I do have to wonder if the chieftain of the other Hiccup felt the same way, since it had another portrait.
Probably not. I say not.
That's a debate for another day.
I know. But Portrait of Hiccup as a buff man. Crazy plot, fantastic story. I love it. Definitely my favorite episode. And I guess that means that's the end of this vlog. Well, we'll see you next time.